Hello, peaceful world. Long time no see. Currently, it is like 7:40 a.m. I am next to a hospital where I need to have some tests done. There is no cause for concern. This is just some preparation for my upcoming dental treatment, which is done only under general anesthesia, as some of you may know. So yeah, and I arrived here pretty early, so I have like 15-ish minutes, I guess, to do some catch up with you. And I do not even know where to begin. This video is gonna be as chaotic and messy as my face and my hair is because I'm still sleepy. And actually, I haven't even talked yet today, so my voice is still waking up. But anyhow, let me remember the last time, I guess, I recorded something on the 18th of May, I guess. The last time I saw my bestie. So as you can see, I do not see my besties very often. And then we were outing, and then, oh my God, so much shit has been on. Well, the biggest news of my family is that my brother-in-law was taken to the army. Um, it was not his choice. This is not a beautiful story, the details of which I will not disclose. But the fact is, now he is doing his studies, these basic military, I don't know, studies, and then nobody knows where he will end up. And this came as a huge shock and tragedy to the family. Like, no, we understand that just studying or serving does not equal death, but anyhow, you do get this kind of idea somewhere very, very deep in your subconscious. Then when you can, rationalize, you understand that it's not too bad because some brothers-in-law are already dead and yours is not. So this is amazing. This is very supportive. Then what else? Um, it is a fair thing that well, what is fair is very hard to determine currently. But like, you can understand that there are many men who are serving and there are many men who have already died, sadly, in this nonsensical war. So it makes sense that every man kind of will serve, including my husband sooner or later. But it, this is not the path we were choosing, and this came as a shock to us. And the simple fact of separation is very painful for me. And I'm like nobody, because I'm his sister-in-law, and frankly, we haven't been in touch much since the birth of our kids, because he also has a child. He's a bit older than Mia, half a year older. Uh, his son was born on the second day of the war. He's still a youngster. He's how old is he? Two and a half. He's two and a half now, almost two and a half. So for me, the separation is hard. I cannot even begin to imagine what it's like for his wife, left alone with a small child. For my husband, his brother. So this is the biggest news for the family. He's been away for a couple of weeks now. We have adapted a bit, so it's getting better, but we'll see. We'll see. By sharing my personal feelings, I do not want to uh, assume that I've got it bad or worse than somebody. No, I'm a privileged civilian living at the times of war with a husband still nearby. So I am not trying to, I don't know, depreciate anybody's hardship, but just sharing what my side is like. as a privileged civilian living in a seemingly relatively peaceful city, with my family, with my dogs, with my cat. Because it's hard, but it feels like there is no place and there is no right for such things currently. You know, when the level of grief in your territory is so big and you want to complain about, I don't know, the absence of electricity, you feel like a very bad person. And if you complain, if you mention it somehow, among not the best people, you'll be attacked. So, just a disclaimer, sharing my side of the story while bearing in mind that I am kind of still in a privileged position here. So my father-in-law situation is one of the latest things. Then we had a very, very long period with blackouts. It was really, really bad because it was very hot, just sweltering, really. It was like 37 degrees Celsius. I Googled what it's like in Fahrenheit, but I cannot recall. So it's really freaking hot. And we did not have electricity, so we did not have ACs. We did not have elevators, and this lasted for more than 2 months. Daily, we had like, well, there were different days. There were some days when we had like a couple of hours of electricity twice a day, and then maybe something during the night. There were better days when we had like, 2 hours of electricity 3 times a day. But really, it was really hard, with the child, with all the laundry, I don't know, washing stuff, charging stuff, combining it with my studies, because now I'm learning to drive. I have my driving lessons, and just combining it with Mia Snaps when you cannot use all of the devices you want. So it was really, really so exhausting. And in addition to this, like, home discomfort, I was rendered unable to work because there was no connection at all. There was no electricity, mobile network did not work, Wi-Fi did not work. And typically, if I want to work or study, I have to go somewhere. And ideally, I just leave my building and sit on a bench just like I'm sitting now, and I conduct my lessons, or I attend my lectures, whatever, using mobile internet. And this is enough, and this is very efficient for me because I do not waste any time away from Mia, and the shitty Charlie. And by shitty, I mean shitting Charlie, who has this recurring diarrheas. So I simply did not have the freedom to just go very far looking for that internet. And the solutions I had relatively close to my home stopped working. And at some point, I just realized that you know I was wasting my time. So I would just leave my home, rush somewhere where hopefully there was supposed to be internet, and there was no internet, and I was not working. I was not studying. I was away from my family, wasting those 40 minutes. But in a family system, 40 minutes is a huge chunk of time. So I made the decision to pause all of my work and studying activities, and this is very depressing for me, really, very depressing. Yeah, not as depressing as when somebody dies or is sick, but on a personal level, I like my work, I like my studies, and I feel like there is nothing left in my life that is mine, that is for me, that was a variation of my me time, and this is gone. And I'm terrified that I'm gonna forget English or how to teach English, that I'm not developing in the field of my interest, psychology, and just like this part, the intellectual part of my brain is just on vacation, and I'm getting dumber by the minute, and this is very upsetting, very annoying. But it was just impossible. We cannot do online activities if there is no internet. It comes down to that. So this sucked. It still sucks. I don't know. Probably I will resume something maybe at the end of August or beginning of September. So now I want to kind of be done with my driving lessons because combining it all is very, very hard. And maybe, it's for the best that we did not have electricity for so long, and I could focus on my driving lessons because the load is very hard with the child, and some a lesson here, a lesson there, like separately. It's just an hour here, an hour there. But if I combine all of the things I want to do, it's a lot of time. So for the time being, I'm going to focus on my driving lessons, which are not going great. The biggest problem for me is tension in my hands, and I just grab onto that steering wheel as a crazy person. But you're supposed to be smooth and relaxed, and I cannot reach that. And when my teacher tells me like fucking relax, and I'm like, how, how? This is not a problem behind the wheel. That is a problem of my life. There is so much tension everywhere, every second, that I cannot make an exception simply in the car. Like, I understand how important it is, to be able to control the car um, safely, but there is nothing I can do. I'm just so tense. I had a pinched nerve in my chest just last week, and I couldn't breathe for a few days. It was so painful. And there is always something up, you know. Somebody gets sick. Charles, poor Charles, he's very old. He has multiple conditions, including cancer. The cancer seems to be quiet now, which is, we are aware of it. But he has these, joints issues, and these recurring diarrheas, and a constantly leaking eye with some gooey green madness, which we do not have time for. And Charlie is just, I don't know, in a way he's cute to me. I think he has become nicer, he's not as reactive, he's not as annoyed by any tiny little thing. You can step over him and he won't try to bite you. um, you know you still cannot clean his eye. No, that's too much, and he's still very feisty at the back. But at home, he's kind of nicer, and he's such a pity to look at, because there is always something that hurts, that leaks out of all of his orifices, and this is hard. So yeah, um, I don't know if I made any sense to you. Mm, Life is intense. Mm, there are many challenges, but at the same time, the other day I was looking through my gallery, photo gallery on the phone, and I just couldn't help but smile, because typically you captures the good moments, right? You do not capture the moment, something hurts or somebody is away, or Charlie Sheets. Well, I do record that. I have a lot of photos of Charlie Sheet because I show it to his actors, those poor souls. But anyhow, I was browsing through that. I'm getting cold, it's harder to talk. I can hear my voice start shivering. But anyhow, so when I look at my gallery, it reminds me that actually it's not only about challenges. It's not only about people being taken away, killed. I don't know, dogs dying. Pinched nerves. Electricity and so on. Because my gallery is so beautiful. My child is so beautiful. She's so gorgeous and she's so amazing. And like she's just she's just great. She keeps developing. There is a new cool thing every day, and she's just so pretty. Very, very pretty. It's illegal to be so pretty, and she gets away with many things because she's so pretty. And she should, she's almost 2, so she should enjoy this life. Even though I do feel like I'm constantly lying to her by creating this beautiful world while the world is ugly, very, very ugly. And this is a dilemma. a dissonance in me as a mom. How much should I be lying to her about the beauty of this world? So it's hard, but she's really really cool. And apart from that, there are still like random good moments, like when I have this extra 15 minutes before my driving lesson. I just embrace this time the best I can, and I buy a book for Mia, and I buy coffee for myself, and a cookie, almond cookie, and I love it all. And when these little pleasant moments happen, I'm also happy. And I take photos of that so that later I can look back on it and feel good, even when the day is pretty shitty. So, yeah, I do not even remember what I told you. I'm not gonna rewatch this video, to make sure I should be posting it. I'll just post it because simply there is no time. I came here early accidentally because the taxi arrived very fast, and I was like, yeah, I need to give my Scotty people an update. So here it is. I thank you all for all of your, care, love, and all of that. It matters. It matters just to know that somebody cares. It's lovely. So thank you all. I hope all of you have a good day. And I'm gonna have some veins pierced. Hope I won't faint. Well, I never have, but I always have the feeling like I'm very close. And yeah, I hope all of you have a good day. See ya.